Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the VG Purist. I'll be coming at you with some Champions Cup playoffs, and it's going to be the first of the playoffs, and we're going to take a look at all of the matches that are going to be due for this week. And we are also going to do predictions, and that's right, I'm not going to do some namby-pamby predictions. I'm going to do some real predictions. I'm only going to do these guys' wins and losses, and you know what? I'm just going to see it on paper. I don't really know the coaches, how they play. I don't know what the favorite races or anything like that. However, I'm just going to look on paper and see who is going to be winning. So let's go ahead, without further ado, to the Champions Cup ladder for the PC. Alright, and so let's go ahead and jump straight in there. And as we can see here, we're going to cover each one by one. We're not going to go too much into their rosters or anything like that, but I definitely do need to know who has what in order to really make a really good prediction. So let's go ahead. CL Antibats versus Ofe Moi Mal. And that's right, my French is terrible. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Dark Elf team here. Team roster. I love these guys. Oh, Blodge. It is going to take guys with tackle or wrestle to get these guys down. However, I believe a lot of the league has tackle at least for 2 or 3 of their guys, if not half of their team. So this is not going to be without a lot of danger. But luckily for this Dark Elf team, he is going to be playing against the Wood Elf team, I do believe. And he has 5 guys here with that tackle ability. As long as he's able to keep the runner up and standing tall, then he should be okay. He does have sure hands, accurate, as well as dodge, so it's going to be a very dangerous runner as well as a thrower. So we'll see if that's going to come into fruition, and he will be playing against here the Ofe Moi Mal, and it will be this Wood Elf team. Boo! Alright, you know, I'm a Dark Elf team player, and so I have to show my colors. It's going to be all dark. As you can see, I'm all dark, guys. And he does have that tree man, and he does have the grab ability along with the guard with the +1 in movement allowance. I almost feel like that's not really too much of a big difference here, because he's got but he only has 1 agility, so he won't exactly be moving too much. However, if the other team decides to not be around that tree, then this could be a factor here to have that one extra movement allowance. But you gotta really be careful. Treemen can severely get themselves out of position and then take themselves right out of the ball game. Pretty much should just stay in the center of the pitch. Truthfully, he does have these war dancers who actually does not have a lot of SPP with them, because you know that's actually a little bit surprising. So he does have just tackle for this war dancer, and that's it. So a little bit surprising here that this is going to be a bit of a lackluster team here, but I do believe that if you look at the statistics, he does have a lot of deaths sustained. So more than likely, both of his war dances paid the price, paid the blood price to get in here. So we are going to predict, you know, a little bit of a bias as well, but the Dark Elf team on paper looks to be the one that's going to be winning this game. And so that is going to be my prediction. CL Antibats. Next, we are going to take a look at the Banter Bus versus the Bone Bearers. And the Banter Bus, you all know him and love him. Lou Pack. He's going to be a fellow streamer as well as a co-caster. I co-casted with him in the World Cup playoffs, and he's a very good coach here, very outstanding player, and he is going to also have a very outstanding team to his name. Guard for these guys, they all have Claw, why not, and Mighty Blow. He's got the palm action as well as having tackle ability for this one man. So you know what, if you got dodge, he won't let you slip away right there. He does have this Beastman also with the did I say palm? I meant what is it, the comb, that's it. Is it right? Yes, that's comb. Claw, well, Mighty Blow and Claw, I guess it's not really a acronym that you can put together. Kumb. It's Kumb. Anyways, so here we go. So he does have Claw and Mighty Blow and Guard for his guys. Pretty good stuff here in the front line. He will definitely be a huge bruiser. But moreover, he does have this Minotaur with that Claw ability, as well as having Tentacles with that stand firm. A huge cage breaker. He puts him in front of the cage, blitzes into the cage, makes a spot, and then sets the Minotaur right in front. And it's going to be very difficult for the other team to dodge out. And when you think about it, tentacles here, just for you guys that don't know too much about it, it's 2d6 for that dodge out, and then you have to include your own strength now. So the strength normally is about maybe say 3 strength, and then it is going to be subtracted from the Minotaur strength. So if you roll on average a 7 on the dice and you add +3 on average for a normal team player with the 3 strength, then that's only 10, and then -5. Now you have to see here the final result. If it's a 5 or less, then that means that you won't be able to move, and the player is going to be held firm in place because of the tentacles, and that is huge. So you need an 8+ to actually dodge away. Now I do believe more than likely we're probably going to see prehensile tail maybe afterwards, or if he gets lucky, get that, the general skill to get the block or something like that. But otherwise, this is an extremely good Minotaur right here. So, and we are going to take a look at who the Banter Puss will be playing against. It will be against the Bone Bearers, and we are going to take a look at him. It's going to be the undead team there, and he does have his mummies ready for the attack. Both of them would stand firm and also guard, so not going to be very easy to get those guys out of position. And this one here with that grab ability, this one's got piling on with that break tackle, so better watch out for these guys. Mummy's going to be hitting you and then hitting you with the elbow right there. So there we go, boy. Champions Cup playoffs, a whole bunch of guys here. That's what I'm liking so far. I see these 2,000+ team value teams, and it just gets me really excited to see a load of skills going to be coming into play. A lot of times you see teams start off fresh. A lot of these playoffs maybe start around maybe 1,500 TV, but no, we're going to see these teams at 2K plus TV most of the time there. Whites with that mighty blow and tackle ability, so they are going to definitely be ready for Lupac's Chaos team. However, I will say that I do like Lupac's team a little bit better because they do have that claw and the mighty blow, and that will reduce the chances here for this mummies to do well. They'll essentially have that 7 armor value, and then after that, the mighty blow is going to come into play. It could actually be this guy out, that guy out, a whole bunch of undead out. If regeneration doesn't come through for the undead team, it will be too much for them to handle. And so Banter Bus, Chaos Team, Lupac, you got my vote, buddy. Next we are going to take a look at Necrius versus the Pros at Dying. And we are going to see here the #1 team out of the Champions ladder here. Muldripsters, Necromantic team, and Stay Fantastic. That's right. He is going to be getting a couple of werewolves with a lot of level ups. He's got a couple of them here with sidestep. He does have this one here with sure step. And is that sure step or is that sprint? I think that's sprint. Sure feet. Okay, I said sure step. Sure feet. There we go. And the +1 in movement allowance. So this werewolf is ready to make those go for rolls if necessary. 1 move touchdown. You never know. And as well as having that sidestep and this dodge for this werewolf, and both of these guys are going to have that dodge ability on them, so these guys are going to make some really great ball carriers with them. Doesn't almost need these ghouls. Does he even need these ghouls? Probably not. So he does have 1 ghoul just for funsies, just in case he's, so he does have these guys, backup ball carrier for him, mighty blow, and 2 stand firm flesh golem, as well as, well, the flesh golems come with these stand firms, but basically guard, mighty blow, tackle, and just because he got that +1 in move allowance, he does go with the +1 here, as well as getting this dodge. So both of these guys pretty much leveling up almost equally, except he did go with that +1 in movement allowance for him, so he will be facing off against here, I believe it was the Pros at Dying. Yes, the Pros at Dying. And we are going to take a look at this cool Norse team, coached by Gerbear. Gerbear, is it Gerbear or Gerbear? I don't know. But either way, he's going to be the competitor here against that Necromantic team, that fierce Necromantic team. Now, luckily for him, the werewolves will actually be a little bit a little bit less of an impact here because they do have the armor value 7 already inherent on a bunch of the Norse team, except for these Elf Winners and the Yeti. But nonetheless, the werewolves, though, I do believe they're actually more of a ball-moving threat instead of actually a hitting threat. But still, the Elf Winners, this one's going to have that +1 in strength, as well as having this Berserker with the +1 in strength. He's got jump up, he's got mighty blow, he's got tackle, he's got piling on, as well as dodge. So this Berserker, really difficult to handle, and I just don't know if the Necromancer team will actually be able to take these guys out. In fact, pretty much a nightmare matchup when you look at the Norse team here. These runners are also going to be pretty good as well. Sidestep with that dodge ability, with the fend ability, with the +1 in agility. So die to a GFI. Hopefully he won't die because he's definitely going to need to stay upright to stand up against the Necromancer team. Boy, this is actually going to be a very difficult one to call. This is not an easy one here, even though this is going to be the #1 team from the Champions Ladder. Boy, I'm going to take a look at this again real quick. I see a bunch of level 1 zombies for Muldrifters, Necrius, and really I bet you it's to really handle the team value of them not getting too high, because boy, they would just be inflated out of the sky if these zombies would have been at level 2 or 3 or something like that. However, you know, I'm not gonna say that the Norse team is gonna win. I'm going to say that the Necromancer team's going to win because he did make it to the top of the charts for a reason, and therefore we are going to take a look and see here that the Necromancer team, Necrius, will be taking out the pros at dying. Next we're going to take a look at the Luckiest Duck, the Bretonnian team, and he's going to be playing against the Lizard Men's. And yes, it is going to be a Lizard Man team, but first let's take a look at the Bretonnian team, yeah? And let's see here if I can find them. And here we go, the Luckiest Duck. And it's going to be coached by Duck as well. And here he's going to have a full roster ready for a bunch of injuries that's going to happen to his Yaoman. And you have to forgive my French here. It's, you know, I keep calling him Yaoman, but I can't help myself. That's just how I was raised. 30 player here, and Russell and blocker. He's going to have that mighty blow and the guard ability. Boy, his guy is actually looking pretty good. And you know, if you carefully look at the team here and you look at these blitzers, you're gonna see that all of his knights are nicely leveled up for his guys. And don't forget, now the blitzers here actually has a easy access to the agility skills. Roll 2d6 subtract. Yes, you're right about that. Alright, so we are going to take a look at that diving tackle blitzer. He's actually going to be really good at defense. He's got a pro blitzer as well, +1 in strength for both of these blitzers, so definitely going to be a really threatening team to play against here. And we're going to take a look at the Lizard Men team, and definitely these guys, Soldados, they're going to need a lot of help here, and they're definitely going to get it. +1 in agility, sure feet, sprint, and jump up for this skink. And it looks like he is Russian, and those Russians, man, they have bear and vodka. That's all they have up there. I don't know what they have. All right, so they got mighty blow for this Saurus here. 4 of the Saurus nicely leveled up. 2 of the Saurus, Lord knows what happened to these guys here, but definitely 4 of the Saurus gonna be ready for the fight. He's got one with break tackle, another one here with guard and dodge and tackle. But I do believe that the Bretonnian team is gonna definitely be up to the task, since you do see a bunch of the Bretonnian team that did get the +1 in strength, especially in the blitzers here. So it will be a little bit more difficult to take them down. I would have liked to see a little bit more, you know, one of these guys maybe be a passer or something like that. But I do believe that this is going to be more than enough roster to take on the Lizardmen team, and therefore, Luckiest Duck, he's going to have my hats off there. Also, he's going to have the team value as well. So that's going to be pretty nice. He's going to actually have an inducement, probably even a wizard as well for the match. Next, we're going to take a look at Stupid Materials versus Chemical Warfare and Stupid Materials from the Orc team. That's right. You know, a lot of these players, they're going to be probably be playing this over the weekend, if not already. I do believe that a bunch of these guys are going to be from the European side. As is pretty normal. A bunch of Europeans love Blood Bowl. And we're definitely going to see there the Black Orcs there for World Sitar. World Sitar actually did make it to the World Cup playoffs, if you guys don't forget. Actually, quite a few of these guys did actually make it through to the World Cup playoffs in the round of 64. And a bunch of them actually got knocked out in the first round. But this is going to be one of those coaches here. And he does have this Black Orc there. Almost everybody's got block. Definitely going to be a prerequisite. But this Black Orc there, actually he's got block as well. But this Black Orc, he does have these Mighty Blow here. Actually, this one without the Mighty Blow. Who knows what happened to that man there. But he did go with the block. They go for a little bit more of the conservative side. But these going to have that Frenzy, Mighty Blow. Stand firm for this one. Guard for both of these guys. And then a bunch of elves here. Elves in the playing field for the Orc team. They snuck in there, knocked them out in the middle of the night, and took over. No, actually, they got the +1 in agility here, and he does have that Mighty Blow. Definitely going to be a huge factor here on defense, as well as going to be on the offensive side as well, because, boy, before this thrower, you know, who's he going to throw to? Everybody's got, like, you know, 3 agility, maybe even 2 agility, but here, 4 agility for his blitzers. They could just, you know, knock some teeth loose as they run their way down the pitch, and then after that, they catch the ball with great ease because of the extra agility and didn't make it down the pitch. So World Sitar is going to be looking pretty darn good here. Chemical Warfare, though, he is not a slouch himself. It's going to be Lord Thorlacia's team, yet another team that did make it into the World Cup playoffs. And here we're going to see his team, his Skaven team, and this is going to be the proper response to such a mad team here. Gutter Runners +1 in movement allowance, 2 of them. You just can't stop 1, you can't stop 2, baby. Oh man, this one's got +1 in strength as well as +1 in agility. So who are you gonna stop? So many gutter runners, too little time. And boy, this is really gonna be a difficult one to call, especially Orc versus a very dangerous Skaven team. He doesn't have a Rat Ogre, but I do believe that he has more than enough money to actually get them. And I do believe the team value is 1560 to 2020, so that's almost 500. Actually, it is 500 in inducements, so this Skaven team could definitely get that star player Rat Ogre if he wanted to. And, you know, worst come to worst, he could probably just go ahead and just get even a loner Rat Ogre at the worst. But definitely here, he is going to be a real powerhouse here. I don't know, at every turn, you know, gutter runner, 1 turn touchdown, and then, you know, Orc scores it. Oh, 1 turn touchdown again, gutter runners. And then, you know, the Orc team, what are they gonna do? It's almost gonna be impossible to stop these gutter runners. Almost impossible. And, oh, you know what? I love these Skaven team, and therefore, Lord Thorlacius, I think you got this one, baby. He is gonna take that one down. Next, we're gonna take a look at Mirigliano Owlers versus Rodents of Regret. And boy, you know, without even looking, I already know who I think is going to win. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at Mirigliano's Owlers. And here we go. It's going to be the Wood Elf team that did make it in. And he did actually make it in as the wildcard team, but he was number 2 overall from the Champions Ladder. And he does have a very threatening team. Both of them here. This catcher +1 in agility. These catcher here also going to be a very dangerous team, as well as having yet another +1 agility. Wrestle with the dodge ability for this lineman, and definitely if you're going to be playing the Wood Elf team, dodge is almost required here for your linemen, because they're going to be getting the heck out of dodge. These guys are probably going to be the front liners here, or actually these guys maybe, but I think you're going to put these guys up front so that they can take the blows, and then Defender Stumble is not going to do anything to them. But we'll see what the play is going to be. He does have the Tree Man Rosario. He does have that grab. Definitely going to be the first thing that the Tree Man usually grabs here. Diving tackle for that War Dancer, so he can just hop in there and then just stand there if he wants to. Diving tackle, a real threat. Does have one here with that tackle and the strip ball, so both of these guys going to be real ball hawks. And definitely depends on how he's going to use them against this very crazy team here. Which team was it again? And it is going to be Rodents of Regret there. Rodents of Regret, the other Skaven team, coached by Javelin. And Javelin's team is they're a little bit beat up, guys. A little bit beat up, so You gotta forgive them, but the Storm Vermin, he does have that claw, he does have that piling on, so he is ready to get his Pamba, but it is Pakabam, what is it, CPMBO, oh, it's just CPOMB, what's that, Kabamba? His Kabambon, because he's got the Claw, Mighty Blow, and piling on action for his Storm Vermin. Anger, he's just a little bit angry, guys, and he does have accurate for his thrower, so definitely ready to throw it down the pitch if need be. He's definitely going to need 2 heads Gutter Runner, and also going to have that other gunner here with the diving tackles. But I just don't know. I mean, it really depends on what inducements he's going to get for this team here, but unfortunately, I do definitely believe here that Mirigliano's Owlers, he does have the nod here. Those Wood Elves, definitely going to be very difficult to stop. Definitely going to be difficult. And next up, we're going to take a look here at RP93 Haiju versus the Dreadful Pennies. And let's take a look there. There we go. It's going to be the human team, and they're going to be ready to go. The Basers. Whew. And the human team, definitely, if you don't go guard for just about everybody, then boy, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. And he does have lots of guard here. Lineman doesn't have access to the strength skills, but, you know, when you do get the double, then you definitely want to get it. Here we go. He does have it. He's going to have more than just doubles. He's got a bunch of them here. He's got guard, +1 agility lineman. He's got this one with +1 in movement lineman. And I don't know if I like that too much here. Probably should have went just with the guard instead of going with that +1 in movement allowance, but nonetheless he did get it. He does have you know, nothing too spectacular. Average team will be average. He does have this catcher though with the 2 +1 in movement allowance, so this man right here, a huge threat, so they can't be counted out. Human team could be down, but this catcher alone could get them back in here on those 1-turn touchdowns if necessary. And that right there, my friends, is a huge threat. And he's going to be playing against the Dreadful Pennies here. Dreadful Pennies, where you at, buddy? Dreadful Pennies, where you at? Here we go, the Necromantic team. That is correct here on Doval. And he is going to be sneaking in there on the wild card spot. But don't forget, he actually is going to be ranking pretty high here. I believe 8th from the Champions Ladder. 2 Flesh Golems ready to rock here. Mighty Blow, tackle, guard, dodge for this one here. White with the guard's ability. This one's got the Mighty Blow as well. So boy, these guys +1 in strength, +1 in movement allowance for that werewolf there. Nicely leveled up. Loads of guard here. Even dirty player and kick for this zombie. Renfield, you're ready to rock, baby. So this Necromantic team is going to be facing off against that human team. Human team can't be counted out. I'm not going to say they're going to lose outright, but definitely I will predict here this team right now, Necromantic team, the Dreadful Pennies, is going to most likely take this game away from RP93 Haiju. And last but not least, wish I was playing Skaven versus a bad choice. A bad choice here is going to be representing the High Elf team. Team roster there, as you can see, not too much craziness. And truthfully, if you think about it, and you look at the teams coming up, the bad choice was probably going to be the most, you know, that I think for the dwarf team, because the other team is a dwarf team, I think for the dwarf team to actually draw the High Elves here in the first round is a real godsend, because truthfully this High Elf team, not too bad for them. I mean, there are other teams that are probably worse for them, but this High Elf team I think is a little bit more doable. But still, I think the dwarf team will be up against it, and already I'm kind of showing my hand here, but the Blitzers, both of them here with the dodge, Mighty Blow, and tackle ability, as well as having this thrower. Yes, he's got the sure hands with that block ability, and really, again, nothing too special except for having this +1 in agility, 5 agility total. Hoo boy, and he's also got strip ball and leap, so you know he's not going to be out of defensive chances as well as offensive chances. That is a huge one, my friends, and this one here, interestingly enough, does have that frenzy for this catcher, but I will say that it could be enough here. It really depends if the dwarf team can take out a bunch of High Elves, make them pay for it, because I wish I was playing Skaven. He wishes he's going to be playing Skaven, but boy, he is going to be a little bit up against it. He doesn't have a death roller, guys, and he doesn't have enough to get the death roller either. But he does have a runner with the, kickoff return. He's got Fend as well as the dodge, sidestep. So this runner is a really good runner for his team. And like I said, the high elf team, when you look at the high elf team, it's just, for the way that the dwarven runner is all knocked up, it's just, does the high elf team have anyone to really stop him? He's only got only one guy here with that tackle abilities, and so I mean, in strip ball, that's not going to be coming into play because the runner, he does have the sure hands already on him, but just not enough guys here to really make too much of a threat here against the dwarven team here. Wish I were playing Skaven, or wish I was playing Skaven. A little bit of a curiosity, isn't it? Wish I were playing Skaven, right? I mean, come on, English, guys, English. Blitzer here with the mighty blow with dodge, as well as having this other long beard here with that blodge, as well as mighty blow for all of his guys, as well as having the guard ability here for his front line. So the high elves aren't going to have a easy time in the front line, as well as that runner. Like I said, it's going to be pretty difficult to stop this runner with the sidestep, dodge, fend. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty darn difficult. And he's also got this runner here with the strip ball with that pro here, and boy, the long beards with these mighty blow. I mean, the high elves could be in for it because that could really do some injuries. And come on, Mac. I know I kind of downed him a little bit in my last video, but here, come on, Mac definitely has a chance to win this one. However, I will say I do like the high elf team a little bit more. It's not just a bad choice, it's going to be my choice here. So that will be it here. Schedule is going to be coming out there for these guys. They should be playing it this weekend, but definitely anything could happen here. More predictions, all the games here going to be coming up on my Twitch channel. Come here and watch it. I'm going to actually do the quick replays. I'm not even going to do the, the 2-hour-long game or anything like that. I'm going to take the replays and we're just going to strategically pause it in different spots here. Just go over it real quick. Not going to be a long game, 30 to 45 minutes at most, whenever we're going to be taking out these casts here for the videos. You can join me on YouTube as well. That'll be pretty much where the video archives are going to be, so go ahead and look up VG Purist there. You can also click on the link there in my profile so you can see all of that. Ivor Biggles, will I see you there, man? I'll see you there. Thank you here for joining me for these first round predictions for the Champions Cup playoffs. The first ever. There's going to be loads more games, and in fact, I do believe that once the first playoffs cup is going to be over, the second one will just about start in about a couple of weeks. So it's going to be pretty much non-stop Blood Bowl action, baby. I'm excited, and I am going to be one of the admins here, so we are going to be validating all of the matches. So if there's going to be anybody disconnecting too early or any scrutiny needed, we'll be ready for whatever. And also, I can do some band hammers, guys. You want some band hammers? Band hammers, ready to rock. Alright, guys, thanks again for joining me here. Hey, more Blood Bowl to come. This is the VG Purist. I'll see you guys there.